Hello friends, today our presentation about the innovation analysis is about Commonwealth Bank of Australia. We are team number 7, myself Kamolwan, my other team members are Parth and Harneet. Now we'll get into the innovation of Commonwealth Bank. The first one that we'll be talking about is to digitize the business into e-banking. Digitizing the business bank into e-banking means that it will be more convenient for the target customer to use and operate their day-to-day banking requirements within the corporation. The second one we'll be talking about is they are the Australia's leading banking app. They operate with scrums, sprints, and rapid release cycle as well. That's why they are like the #1 top app in Australia. The third one we'll be talking about is disruptive technologies. Commonwealth Bank did not want to be one of those companies that focus too much on their current industry and paid no mind to the disruptive technologies which could have attacked their market. So let's take the Blockbuster as an example with the Netflix case. Blockbuster Video was reported as saying that they were tracking themselves against other video chains, but they did not see Netflix as a threat at all because they thought that Netflix could not have taken them down. Similarly, most traditional media outlets were watching online models for their existing mastheads and were too slow to pick up the new threats such as Facebook and Google. The last innovation we'll be talking about is inside-out innovation. They define the challenge and understand what customers actually need, and to find the right solution for that, they generate big ideas, build it, and test that with potential end users and release it into the market to see that if it works as they assumed. Next, we'll be talking about the culture that exists within the Commonwealth Bank. First one, they focus on customers, such as they are service oriented. They keep their main focus on how to keep their customers satisfied with their banking services. Second one, new ideas, new team. The diversity of thinking needed of transformational change cannot come from people that are in the same organization or the same department who have been in the same industry for their whole careers. So how do you generate a diversity of thinking without having to go outside your organization? Well, the simple answer is to set up flexible cross-functional teams within your organization so you can exchange ideas and talents within. Third one is corporate responsibility, financial education. They do have some corporate responsibility programs where they provide teach the youth how to teach the youth on money saving topics for their future development as a habit and make the youth understand and creating opportunities for them, such as through scholarship and internship. The last one is corporate responsibility, community contribution. Contributing to the community and helping them with the hardships by providing financial hardship assistance for the meantime to get the potential customers back on track. However, it also depends on cases to cases. Now let's talk about the milestones that Commonwealth Bank have achieved. The first one would be market leadership. It has achieved as top financial institution, as everyone knows, leading market share in home lending, household deposits, and credit cards with payment provider merchant base. The second one is high customer reach. Highest share of customer reach including the youth and migrants customer or even international students. They have a largest call center branch and with 7 million active digital customers using the online banking system. Whenever you need any help, if you call them, whether it's on a Sunday, they would also help and get your problem solved quite quickly. The third one would be talent. They have wide diversity of employees. For example, they have employed 48,000 employees in gender and culture, which is a different diversity of that, and 50% of board of directors are actually female, so they do not discriminate at all. And the fourth one is innovation. Real-time core banking, and they are number one banking app, as we have already discussed, leading real-time data and analytics. Now we'll be talking about the success of Commonwealth Bank in different type of innovation. The two types that we'll be talking here is process and people. So under the process, they have been trying to engage in brainstorming and generate different ideas for the company and cultivating new ideas by giving the employees new opportunities, such as they would hire other people with different diversities, or they would even encourage employees to question the challenge or try out new challenges and new positions within the company, or running experiments for new ideas to test new ways of doing things, such as we have mentioned earlier that one of the innovation would be that they would have new ideas and try to test it within their people or in the market to see that if it's working as well as they're assuming. There are also people who are looking actively for creativity and innovation skills when they're hiring, or they would use formal process to network outside the company to make new network connections, and also evaluating how the employees are creative or innovation skills are in terms of their appraisal. Thus, this is the rise in almost all innovation behaviors, as they demonstrate that the businesses are focusing more on introducing innovation across multiple areas of the organizations, with help of many adopting the mindset required to take the next step in joining their competitive advantage throughout the innovation. The other two innovation success that we're going to be talking about is philosophy and seizing the opportunities. Under the philosophy, they have said that the employees are not afraid to take risk and fail, which is a very good point in employees that they are looking for these days. And they also expect the employees to offer the creative ideas of how the company can improve. Commonwealth Bank is Australia's most innovative financial institution, so they are one of the most innovative company in the country. The application was developed using the Agile framework, as we already discussed, and tested with over 100 home buyers in the usability testing space within the bank's Sydney Innovation Lab. As far as they're looking for seizing the opportunities, they're always looking for new ideas in the market or like in the technology world, which are always responding to different type of business opportunities, such as the virtual reality workplace, which not only demonstrates Commonwealth Bank's technology focus, but they also focus on the virtual reality experience, which helps the candidates understand the bank's value and how important it is to place the customer at the heart of everything we do, because it is the first number one service-oriented bank. And Project Bank I in the 2018, the World Bank and Commonwealth Bank successfully launched Bond, which is the world's first bond to be created, allocated, transferred, and managed through its life cycle. Now we'll be talking about the success of Commonwealth Bank in different types of innovations. The two most important innovations that the bank have came up with. The first one will be talking about Project Bondi, which was launched in the year 2018. World Bank and Commonwealth Bank successfully launched it, and they focused on creating and allocating, transferred, and managed it. The platform utilized blockchain technology for issuance, including launch, book build, allocation, and the management of bond holdings throughout the bond life cycle. It features the automated bond auction, book build, and allocation. electronic bid capture, real-time updates, and enhanced visibility according to the participants' permissions, auditable and immutable transaction record for probity and operational risk management, permissions network of authorized participant, and the second one is Albert Tablet. It is a wireless tablet which will change the way that retailers interact with their customers. It is also called loyalty tracker, as a coupon giver, bill splitter, etc. There have been other choices out there, but this is the first time a major bank has stepped in and created something retailers want in one package. No word on pricing yet, but if they want fast adoption and to steal some customers back, it will need to be cheap enough for them to be affordable. After talking about the success, now we'll get into the failures of Commonwealth Bank. Innovation Labs was a big failure in the year of 2014. Innovation Labs work is extremely challenging and reports that this was 90% of labs that are failing. These labs are opened in 2014, which cost $4 million to establish. The annual operating cost of labs, considering salaries and other expenses, would far outweigh the setup costs. It was not a good product demand forecasting. Commonwealth Bank is not very good at product demand forecasting. This is the only reason inventory is highly compared within its competitor, due to which they ended up keeping higher inventory both in-house and in-channel. They also failed in infrastructure. Commonwealth Bank of Australia, that left millions of Australians unable to directly transfer or receive funds last year, has been traced to an errant infrastructure upgrade that hobbled the institution's real-time transactions platform. In a conspicuous hardware-related failure of the Commonwealth Bank's previously lauded core system, the institution was facing up the grim prospect that non-Commonwealth Bank customers meant to receive money from Australia's biggest bank may have to wait until early next week for the funds to clear. So now we'll be getting into the recommendations for Commonwealth Bank from our side. In the year of 2018, Commonwealth Bank had a massive 12 hours long outage all over Australia, like we just discussed. It was due to an errant infrastructure upgrade, which resulted in the tied up real-time transaction platform. The bank is Dell user across all platforms and also an Oracle user. The upgrade of the system left the security breach and kept the system vulnerable for 12 hours. Commonwealth Bank is having a huge technical team, and after they gave the call centers to third-party agency, the upgrade of the system can be done during non-peak hours and should invest more into the stability towards technology. There are many Commonwealth Bank ATMs which aren't functioning because of the hardware failure as well. The Innovation Labs proved to be a failure for the Commonwealth Bank as well. The reason for the failure was that there was no proper funding and lack of opportunities. Commonwealth Bank launched a wireless 7-inch Android tablet supporting touchscreen that was originally developed with the association of a German bank, Winco Nixdorf, which is one of the banking tech giant in Germany. The bank should develop Albert, as it contains a secure EMV interface for accepting chip and PIN cards. Albert also has a chip for contactless payment, Wi-Fi connectivity, and a receipt printer. This is the first point of sale device launched by any banks in Australia. Albert is a device named after Albert Einstein, which is a system that can also integrate with the customers rather than a traditional point of sale devices. Commonwealth Bank has a total approximate 6.7 million users across the country, but out of which hardly thousands of them are aware of Albert. There is not much awareness in the local crowd about the device and its uniqueness. Apart from this, the device is having certain flaws which can be avoided by bringing more technical and hardware stability. By doing so, the bank will also be able to conquer the uncharted territory and attract more customers. Now we'll get into the three key points that we need to consider about the implementation of the recommendation. First one, we'll get into time frame. The infrastructure upgrade and technical stability is something that cannot be achieved overnight. The bank should take it quarter by quarter, as it is not possible to upgrade all the branches and the ATMs at once. The total number of ATM of bank across the country is over 1,100. Commonwealth Bank recently shut down 120 branches. If we take the quarter by quarter approach, then Commonwealth Bank should be complete the entire hardware within 4 quarters. For the Albert, the Commonwealth Bank needs to at least 3 quarters to promote the device to its vendor, and it should be sufficient to overcome the loopholes and come with an upgraded version of the point of sale device. As the prototype already exists, assuming that they won't have to make any drastic changes to it and just make the minor modification and promote the device to the small scale vendors. Second one will get into cost estimation. According to Baskowski J, the Bank of Queensland recently started rebuilding the IT department, which includes the hardware upgrade as well. They allocated $440 million and the life of this process is 5 years. Assuming the similar upgradation for Commonwealth Bank, the cost should give revolve around $100 to $150 million. As the bank does not require to undergo the IT to rebuild process but instead just have to upgrade the hardware. The technical stability includes the cost mentioned if they give the call centers to developing countries and in the countries where the cost of labor is pretty low compared to Australian standards. The bank is charging around $3,000 per device for the development of new Albert device. The extra cost of $50 million should be allocated for manufacturing and promoting of the device. The last one we'll get into is competitor analysis. The bank is in the Big Four group of Australian banks. According to the article by Corporate Financial Institute, the bank is having the largest number of customers in Australia, that is, 17 million approximately. According to a survey, most of the people changed their banks due to lack of customer service support and lack of services provided to them or due to lack of ATM branches around the locality. If Commonwealth Bank is investing $200 million into technical and hardware support, then they will leave no major reason for its customers to leave the bank, and they can retain the customers and even entertain the new ones with enormous customer service. Commonwealth Bank is the only bank in Australia who have launched the point of sale device for the vendors. So if they manage to promote the device through a proper channel and can reduce the charges on it, the bank might earn the higher revenue through it, and the customers will be more attracted towards it rather than the other banks. That's all for our presentation. Thank you for your time and attention. Stay home and stay safe.